All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick on the Power. So I wanted to make a video today about a bodybuilder named Barry DeMay. So Barry DeMay was a bodybuilder from the 80s and 90s, and he was a very interesting bodybuilder in the fact that he competed in both the IFBB and Vince McMahon's WBF organization. So Barry would begin his IFBB career in 1983, where he would compete at the IFBB World Amateur Championships in both 1983 and 84, where he would place second place both of those years. He would make his Olympia debut in 1985, placing 6th at his very first ever Mr. Olympia. So he definitely made a very big impression on the world of bodybuilding with that debut, because a top 6 finish at the Mr. Olympia is a very impressive feat. And he would go on to win the IFBB World Games that same year. The following year, in 1986, he would move up 1 place at the Olympia and he would place 5th. In 87, he would place 6th at the Olympia. Then in 88 would be one of his best years ever in pro bodybuilding as far as the IFBB is concerned, where he would place 3rd at the Mr. Olympia competition. Then he would place within the top 5 of several different Grand Prix, including the Grand Prix England, France, Germany, Greece, Italy, and Spain. And for those of you who are unaware, the 1988 Mr. Olympia was won by Lee Haney with Rich Gaspari in 2nd place. Again, Barry DeMay was in 3rd, and he beat guys like Lee Labrada, Gary Stridham, who would go on to win the WBF championships both years, Mike Quinn, Brian Buchanan, Samir Bannout, Bob Paris, Phil Hill, Sean Ray. You got Albert Beckles in there. You got Ed Kowak, Robbie Robinson, Mike Ashley, Mohammed Benaziza. So Barry DeMay beat some of the best guys from the 80s and 90s at that 1988 Mr. Olympia. So obviously after that Olympia, Barry DeMay was one of the favorites to win, in future Mr. Olympias. He was definitely a top contender. He had beat all the best guys at the Olympia except for Lee Haney and Rich Gaspari. But unfortunately, during training in 1989, he would tear his pec, which would set him back significantly in the IFBB. So this guy had unlimited potential following 1988. People were predicting that he was going to win in either 89 or 90. And there were all kinds of, there was just a ton of hype behind this guy. He had a very aesthetic physique. His posing was excellent. And he was just everything you would be looking for in an 80s bodybuilder. So essentially that pec tear in 1989 basically crushed Barry DeMay's dreams of winning the Olympia, and he became more realistic about that goal. And that's when he decided to join Vince McMahon's WBF in 1990. So for those of you who are unaware, I've made several videos about the WBF. It's a very interesting organization. It only lasted a couple years. Vince McMahon essentially was trying to rival Joe Weider and create his own bodybuilding organization. Basically, the premise behind the WBF was that the bodybuilders would be dressed up. They would have characters just like in the WWE, and they would be kind of performing on stage as that character. So that was kind of the whole concept behind the WBF. So Barry participated for a short span in that WBF, placing 3rd at that 1991 Grand Prix. He would try to return to the IFBB in 1993, where he would have a, very humbling 10th place finish at the Night of Champions. Then he would retire after 1994, where he competed in the Arnold Classic and he placed 15th. So the reason I wanted to make a video about Barry DeMay was because he's still alive today. He's 55 years old and he still looks absolutely incredible. So this guy at 55, he's a personal trainer. He also owns a supplement company. He's also a bodybuilding judge. I believe he's an IFBB judge. But I actually follow him on Instagram, and he posts regular updates of his physique. And I got to say, for 55, he still looks absolutely incredible. So I wanted to make a quick video on Barry because I'm sure a lot of you guys in your teens and maybe even in your 20s had not heard of him, and just wanted to let you guys know, the longevity of a guy like this who can still continue to train into his 50s because he was doing things smart and he was doing things the right way. He was an incredible bodybuilder of the 1980s. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.